All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great and Stone. Shalom to the elect pushing the sword in truth and in sincerity, for the hope of receiving mercy for Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahawashi is the name of His only begotten Son. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to the prophecies that are written in the Scriptures. I want to make it known that the RFID microchip is a character written about Revelation 13 verse 16 on down. The miracle jug is a precursor to the charagma. Yahawashi, whom dwelt in and called Jesus, is about to make his return upon the earth to deliver his elect and to pour out judgment as it is written. So I want to go straight into this lesson dealing with the perilous times to come. And as it is written in Timothy, that know this also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. And one of the main catalysts of this perilous time is going to be the lack of food, the lack of bread. Financial insecurity, and that will cause people for acting a way in which at one point them wouldn't. Even when it comes on to them own friends and them neighbors, even them own family members. And these are the times that we're in right now, in which the Lord has set a division in the earth, So I'm just going to jump straight into it. It says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. So the Lord has given us certain words to go before you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, to declare, which you are the Lord's people. So this is 2 Ezra 14 verse 1. 2 Ezra 15 verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. For there shall be sedition amongst men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And we are into the time in which the action of the normal man is are going to be so violent against his neighbor or his brother. It's going to be like unto their enemy, As is written in 2 Ezra, then shall friend fight one against another like enemies. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to, because what? In the midst of civil unrest, what is going to be declared, A state of emergency. And a state of emergency could have come in with martial law. You see me? So you have different posts all over where now you can left from one area to the other. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid, because of perilous times. Man are gonna be afraid in them times, because you're not sure about your life, You're not sure if today is gonna be your last day, your last minute, your last second. Because Scripture tells us the day of the Lord is like as one that fled from a lion, you see me, and a serpent bit him. You see me? Just paraphrasing. Sure, say I just left from one danger to the other. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. So let's look on this clip and listen what this young man is saying. So listen to the title. I almost lost it all. Government warning, home invasion.
They came in through my front window while I was sleeping. We had a viewer write in an absolutely horrifying story of a home invasion yesterday, something that happened to them personally. They are very lucky that they didn't suffer any sort of extreme violent crime, but they were attacked and they did have things stolen from them. This is just one of the many events that are happening across the United States of America as we experience an increase in violent crime, an increase in home robbery. I talked with them a little bit and asked about what they thought maybe led up to this. Was it just an opportunistic predator? Was it somebody who saw something that they wanted? And they think that they saw this individual a couple of days before, so they maybe were scoped out for somebody to come into their home and take things from them. Maybe they didn't expect them to be home. I'm not really sure. I didn't get that many details. But I know that these things are happening. And as I drive down the street and I look at people who are leaving their TV boxes outside or even just leaving their car windows down, I know that they are ripe for the pickings. Please don't let this happen to you. We're seeing across the United States of America right now extreme environmental and economic challenges. We have all this talk about biological things that are hurting people, from viruses to monkeypox and all of the things in between. Isn't it interesting now that a House Intelligence Committee member is out there warning people that agencies have full access to tools right now that can target an individual's DNA and can use programs in new bioweapon campaigns to target people or even specific animal types or specific societies. A member of the U.S. House Intelligence Committee is warning that bioweapons are being made to target a person's DNA right now. This makes sense because do you remember Vladimir Putin? He would not allow other people to, take his nasal swab for a COVID test. He said that he wouldn't allow that his DNA to be, be out there in the public realm. Speaking at the Aspen Security Forum, U.S. Rep. Jason Crow of Colorado warned Americans not to be cavalier with sharing their DNA at any point in time. He says you can take an actual person's DNA, their medical profile, and you can target now a biological weapon that will kill that person or take them off of the battlefield or make them inoperable. You can't have a discussion about this without talking about privacy and protection of commercial data, because the expectations of privacy have degraded over the last 20 years. Young people actually have very little expectations of privacy, he says. That's what the polling and data shows us. He's a former U.S. Army Ranger. He served 3 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. He continues to warn people, saying that the society will very rapidly spit into a cup and send it to an organization and get really interesting data about their background. They're warning that biological weapons.
Love to travel? Study hospitality and tourism management in Toronto, Canada for a global career.
Right now they're warning that biological weapons right now are being used to target animals, including, people, and the food production lines that people rely on. Food insecurity, he says, drives a lot of other insecurities around the world. There are a number of ways we can look at biological weapons and the need to make sure that we are that we are securing human beings, but then also the food that sustains us. Earlier this week, reports showed just how easy it is for a privately owned business to develop bioweapons, such as the ones that are being touted. The publication explained how DNA belonging to a target or even a close relative of a target can be stolen and used to form a weapon that can attack that person. The technology leads to highly targeted assassination programs. Similar technology can be deployed against U.S. agriculture by designing weapons which target only a certain breed of animal, like chickens,
So as you see, the desires of the wicked. So this is what the scripture have said. I'm going to close on this note. So this is Psalms 64 verse 1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer preserve my life. From the fear of the enemy, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bow to shot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shout in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shout at him, and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter, and you listen what the man just say, yo, and that is an evil matter, yo. You see me? I use people DNA to make bioweapon against the people, them, yo. But that's just Esau, yo. No matter what it is, I'm gonna turn it into a weapon, yo. Because that is his blessing, the sword. They say they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of in snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquity. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. And you don't know far this guy, yo. The scripture say, Esau worketh mystery upon his bed, and in the morning and practice it in Micah 2. Scripture say the wicked, yo. And that is how Esau go about, with the manipulating tactics. But a lot of people is moving with the flow of society, not taking a second to stop and really analyze what's going on in the world. Them just moving with the flow, fulfilling the prophecy in 2 Ezra 10, 2 15 verse 10, as it is written, behold, my people are led as a flock to the slaughter. You're just going with the flow, yo. Believing everything that you hear on these news media outlets, yo. So they may even my own elder I tell me about climate change, because what? Him is a man heavily watch these news media outlets, yo, and him believe the things that we must see. Because that is how enough people gather their information, yo, by these news media feed. And in their mind, these people on the news channels have their best interests at heart, but they don't have a clue about Esau's propaganda machine, yo. So I hope this was edifying. We don't want to say Kalalal, Yahweh, Kalalal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Yahweh Kodash. Shalom.